Hello, welcome to Popalong RC. Today we're going to be putting together this Corally SSX125 LMP car. Going to get it ready, not for LMP, but we're going to go with the LMGT3 class. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So as always with the builds, bag 1, 2, 3, 4 for all the way up to bag 10 there. Get it all nice and organised. These are going to be the ESC, the XR10, and obviously the stock motor, because the 25.5, because we're going to be running it as a LMGT3 car. Boxes there. Nice little manual, to be fair. Looks fairly easy. I should put a board here when I get going. As always with my builds, I'm going to do a bit, then I'm going to show you. I actually don't think there's going to be much to show you, to be quite honest, because this is such a simple car to put together by the look of it. Not much there really, being that it's a pan car. Product registration, if you register that, you can get setup tips and things like that, which I will do at a later date. I'm just going to get on with a build and go from there. Okay, so bag 1 and 2 complete. This has taken me so far about 7, maybe 8 minutes, and it's really, as always, these things are just, yeah, they fit together beautifully. Really nice parts. I actually have never built an LMP car before, because the one I've got is second hand, so it came to me already built. I have built an Atom before, and that didn't take too long. But when we spoke to Corally, we had a conversation with them. They did say that they have simplified this platform. I don't think it needs to be overcomplicated really. You've got obviously different makes on the market, and they all do things slightly differently. I have no idea how this is going to fare. I literally have, honestly, I'm going in completely blind. I don't know much about this class whatsoever, but you know what, I like learning new things, and it's going to be a real learning curve. I'm not expecting this to be amazing straight out of the box. I need to tweak it and get it right, but so far so good. Really nice build, really easy build up to this point. Bag number 3. So just briefly, we've got this part here, which is your front suspension. These cars don't have a lot of suspension for obvious reasons, because it's very close to the ground. You're running on flat carpet tracks, but it does give you different options for springs here. The red is soft. I should imagine the blue is hard. I'm going to put the soft ones in because I like a lot of steering on me cars, and again, we can change that if we need to. Right, I've done a few little bits off camera. I just want to talk you through this front bulkhead assembly. I've done both of them. Now, it did take me a little while, because you get 2 C-clips. They're buried in there. You can kind of see it, but yes, and they went walkie, so I had to hunt around. You only get 2, so that's an interesting design. Not one that I want to fettle with trackside, I have to say. If I wanted to sort of adjust ride height and things, I would not like to be doing that trackside with all the little tiny bits and pieces. However, it is a beautiful piece of kit thus far, and it's coming together very nicely. Right, on to the next step. Right, that's the rear pod done, or as the manual says, the rear power pod. There it is, nice anodised red bits on there. Yeah, not much to say really. It's yeah, nice carbon fibre, and yeah, I suppose what we've got to do next, rear body post by the look of it, and then probably got to stick this on. Okay, so the pod is now on, nicely and loose. That's got to be really loose, obviously. One thing I have noticed about this is they've really gone back to basics. This is about as simple and as basic as it gets, which, you know what, I like. I do like that. As I said earlier, my only slight reservation is adjusting ride height trackside with those tiny little E-clips. It would be nice to have a few spares of those, but apart from that, yeah, it's going together really nicely. You can probably get this done in, probably, if you rushed it, probably about 40 minutes probably, but I'm not rushing it. But there it is, up to this point. What we've got to do now, we've got to put in this Right, I'm just going to pause the video for a minute. Now, if you look very carefully, in that little tray, there's an O-ring, kind of a reddy orangey colour there. I actually left that out of the kit. Now, it doesn't say where to put it in the manual, but all will be revealed if you hang on in to the end of the video, and I'll show you where it goes. Anyway, carry on. Wide lick damper. It's quite nice because you've got these little springs here, and again you get different sort of strength spring. We'll go with the red because that's what it suggests. I'm not going to put any oils in it just yet, but we can do it at a later date to fine tune it and stuff, so let's get that done. Right, as you can see, I have done the body shell. Man, that looks seriously nice. I think you'll agree there. Did have a bit of an issue with it, that it was so thin up here that the wing just kind of comes straight out. So what I've had to do, and I'll take this off, I had to beef it up underneath here with loads of CA glue and accelerator and stuff, because it was paper thin. I don't know if it's just a bad mould or what, but it wasn't right. But yeah, that came out really nice, so I'm super happy with that. Anyway, on with the car. I haven't finished, although you might think I have with that on. So I've got thus far with it. Zoom out a little bit. We need to now... Well, actually, let me update you. What have I done? The side springs are on. Where are they? There they are. Side springs are on. That's all done. I haven't put the spur gear on because I was advised to go for a 72 with this car, being that the wheels are... We're not going to chew the tyres down. And I'm going to start with a 40 tooth pinion gear. So that's the starting point we're going to go with. Servo wise is the good old Core RC one. Everything here is Core RC. And to be honest, it's relatively cheap. The whole point of this build was not to make it super expensive, because it's meant to be a budget friendly class. So yeah, so I'm going to put that in and I'll come back to you. Okay, we're cut to the car now, all completely finished. I shall take the top off. There's a couple of bits I really want you to listen up to, because it's not actually in the manual. So, but before I come to that, let me just take this off. Here is the finished product. So we have got the Hobbywing Just Stock ESC in there. Now, I'm looking online. People don't tend to run the fans on them, and I doubt that's going to overheat with a 25.5 Just Stock motor in there. I don't know, but I've taken it off to save weight anyway. I have since done a little bit of tuning to this, which I'll go over in a separate video. This was merely the build video. I've tried to get it as neat as I can. I have used the turnbuckles from my Schumacher car, because I think I'm going to crash this. And the ones that come with it they're good, but I know I'm going to crash and they're going to pop off. So I went for these ones. They're quite sturdy. Anything else to go over? Yeah, the bit I was going to tell you about is the bit in the back here. So this spring, okay, in there should be, and I'm not going to take it apart because I'll put the whole thing together and it's ready for racing next week. You get these O-rings, right? In fact, you only get one rubber O-ring in the kit. Now, I was scratching my head thinking, where does that go? We've since found out that it goes in here. There's a ridge inside here, and you tuck it in, and you put a little bit of, some of you, I've got all my oils there, but some oil in there. But as I say, I'll cover that in a separate video. But for now... that's the only thing. It's not in the manual, so just be aware that's not in the manual. So a couple of things. Recap on if you're building one of these. Make sure that goes in there in the early stages of the build. Or it doesn't matter because I did it in the late stage of the build. And the C clips in here, the little E clips in here. It's quite a challenging job, I won't lie to you. But you only get 2 in the kit, so just be very, very mindful that you're probably going to ping them around before they actually go on. So put a white, I don't know, bit of card down before you do it and things like that. Other than that, the build come together really nice. The whole ride height at the moment is set to 5mm. Now, I'm not going to get finicky and mess around with it, because this is meant to be a class where we hopefully, I don't sort of throw it on the track and and away we go. But that kind of thing, really. So I'm not going to be truing tyres and stuff like that, but I've set the ride height now. I'm going to go and test this, hopefully, before we race the Nationals indoors with it. One more thing, I put my long body posts on because the short ones didn't quite fit this body shell, so I'll probably order up some rears and replace them because they're actually nicer than these ones. These are off of the Schumacher car. So there we go. So that is the build complete. I hope you've kind of enjoyed that. Oh, one more thing before everyone moans at me. This is, I've since found out that these core spur gears can, I don't know, they're not the best of quality apparently. I don't know how true that is, but I've got another one on order. I've got an Axion, whatever you call it. Failing that, I might take the other one off of the good old Schumacher there. I'm not too sure yet, but yeah, that's it. So I shall put this on just to finish the video. I think you'll agree, this looks absolutely stunning. If it goes half as well as it looks, I'm going to be really impressed. But there you go. So if you like what you see, like, subscribe, hit the old ding dong bell, and we'll see you on another video.